But before this court can order and will order any such restitution, I need much more detailed information. And that may involve strategic choices on the part of the Jackson family and on the part of the estate, whether and under what circumstances those figures are to be released. But I'm not going to order restitution at this juncture based upon those conclusory statements. If and when the court makes a determination, the court can order that restitution be paid through the State Office of Revenue Reimbursement. I'm happy to set this case at a later point in time for a determination of more detailed restitution amounts. How many days in custody has Dr. Murray served, Mr. Gorgian? You're checking? Because I want to provide appropriate credits.
23 days actual.
Dr. Murray is entitled to 23 days of actual custody credits plus good time, work time credits of that exact same number, 23 days. So toward the 4-year sentence in this case, Dr. Murray received total credits of 46 days in custody. I invite counsel to suggest another date when this matter can be calendared for a determination of appropriate restitution, unless you want to simply defer it and notify me in the future as to a date. That's up to you.
Due to the complexity of it and the number of people I'll need to speak with, Your Honor, maybe it's wiser to simply defer it, and then we'll notify the court after I speak with defense counsel and the estate representatives as well as the family.
All right. Please be aware of 120 days. I'd like to address this within that 120-day time period. Let me ask you, before I advise Dr. Murray of his appellate rights, are there any additional questions, comments, suggestions, et cetera, on behalf of the people, Mr. Waldron?
No, only falling back to the restitution issue, if the court thinks it's better to maybe just set a date with the understanding that we'll be working toward that goal, maybe sometime in mid-January or...
I'm fine with that too. Mr. Murray, I don't know the defense position.
We're opposed to setting a date in January. We'd like to get this resolved quickly.
Well, do you want to stipulate to restitution of $101 million, $821,871.65?
Are you giving me exactly two options, January or $100 million?
No.
So then I guess I'll...
No, it's important.
I'm next week, 2 weeks from now, something like that.
Well, I'm not so sure that's all that realistic. I always can set it on a date and vacate the date, but I think putting it over for a week or two is not going to accomplish much in view of what I would think would be a lot of financial consideration here. You know, I don't see that time frame as being unreasonable if there are facts and figures which have to be gathered.
Do we need to drag Dr. Murray in from jail for that?
One need not drag in anybody. Dr. Murray can waive his appearance.
I appreciate that.
You can speak to Dr. Murray about that. You know, I'm certainly sensitive to that too. I don't want to drag anybody in here unnecessarily. Counselor conferring with Dr. Murray.
Dr. Murray will waive his personal
Dr.
appearance.
Murray, you have a right to be present during any proceedings in which I make a determination of whether I'm going to order any restitution in this case, and if so, the amount. Do you understand that right, sir?
Yes.
Do you give up that right and agree that your interests can be represented by those of counsel?
Yes.
Counsel join in the waiver, Mr. Chernoff?
Yes, sir.
There's an express and explicit, knowing and intelligent, free and voluntary waiver by Dr. Murray of his right to be personally present. So what date would you like to pick in January?
Can I reach back real quick, get my calendar?
Yes, please.
Week of the 23rd, Your Honor, if that's agreeable with the court and counsel.
Well, it actually have to be on the 23rd because I've got a must-go case starting the 24th. That has been a must-go case, which has been must-go during the course of this trial. And finally, that case is a must-go. So if Monday the 23rd is okay.
That's fine, Judge. 23rd of January.
Mr. Walgren? That okay?
That's fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, further proceedings regarding restitution are set Monday, 23 January 2012, 8:30 a.m. in this without the presence of Dr. Murray. With that in mind, is there anything else that I should address before I advise Dr. Murray of his appellate rights? Mr. Walgren?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chernow?
No, Judge.
Thank you. Dr. Murray, you have an absolute right to appeal the guilty verdict in this case, the sentence, and the judgment of conviction. In order to do that, sir, you must file a timely notice of appeal with the court clerk within 60 days of today's date. That's a document in which you indicate that you wish to appeal this judgment in this case. But you got to do it within 60 days. Do you understand that you have a right to appeal, sir?
Yes.
And do you understand how that is done? By filing
I
the
don't understand
document?
the timeline. I don't
The
understand. exactly how
timeline, and it's a
done.
document which, Mr. Gorgian, I would gather you're going to be submitting that today?
Sure.
Mr. Gorgian? You're going to be submitting it?
today
Well,
or
today or
tomorrow.
within the next couple of days?
Yes.
Mr. Gorgian will do that, but it's important that you understand that's the way it gets done. All right, Dr. Murray is remanded to the care and custody of the Los Angeles Sheriff in this case to begin his sentence. At this time, proceedings with regard to Dr. Murray are concluded. We're going to take a very brief recess, and then I'll be addressing the issue of further proceedings as regards Matt Alford in just about 10 minutes. Thank you.